Hello.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back. Sorry for the little bit of technical difficulties there.
It's all good. It's all worth it. It's great to be on. Thank you.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us again, Radha. For the listeners out there, I have a special guest again, and Radha of Galactic Goddess podcast is on today. And you've got some really deep stuff we're going to talk about, right?
Yep, always.
Yeah, we were talking, I think we believe we're going to talk about Ascension updates. Whoa, that's some
Hmm.
pretty heavy stuff. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we have been going into high gear here. This whole year has been it's been like a level process of slowly going up and up and up another octave. And that's how I see it. It's like we're all vibrationally going up higher in an octave. But as it goes higher, it's also like a roller coaster where we come down a little bit, we dip a little bit energetically because we do go so high. And what also is occurring is a huge, I mean, massive, archaic purging. I am hearing that from all my clients, and I'm seeing like they're having a lot of physical symptoms, where they're breaking out in like rashes, or like their knee will swell up, or weird
Oh my
random
gosh.
things. Yeah, that where different places in their body where they're storing cellular memory. We hold cellular memory from many lifetimes, not just this lifetime. And our bodysuit really contains that information. And as we are ascending up in our energy field, we need to drop some of that baggage so we can get lighter, energetically speaking. So, a lot of physical symptoms are showing up.
What kind of physical symptoms are examples? I have some, but what have you been hearing from your clients and for yourself?
Well, for me, I've been noticing that sleeping has been a little bit of a challenge. Falling asleep has been a little bit of a challenge. I really have to try to go to bed earlier, and I have been, but like a lot of the things that used to work, like melatonin or the what is that mineral called that
Magnesium.
magnesium, yes, that's
Yes.
like my go-to, and that hasn't been working as well. So I also just realized that like my body is also getting downloads at different times, and usually it's when I'm sleeping, but now it's like seems to be right before I go to sleep, which is really really funny, but not funny at the same time
No,
because
I thought it was
because
just me. I've been sharing the same things. The magnesium hasn't been working, melatonin, and it's like throughout the day, and then it just gets more intense at night. And I'm like, oh, please, my bodysuit needs a reboot or upgrade.
well, it is getting that's exactly what it's doing, but now where we were sleeping, we're wide awake. I mean, I have been getting them like a few times. Not not this month because we just started, but last month I got two major downloads during the day that wiped me in a really incredible way that I think might be occurring again for other people. And what that feels like is all of a sudden, like you're doing something and you just start to feel like a little bit like tired. But also you feel like a little zzz, a little bit of zzz in your body, like your body's
Mm-hmm.
buzzing. It's buzzing. There's like a frequency that's coming in, and it's almost like whatever you're doing, you just need to stop and go go lay down. If you're working in an office, I don't know what to say, but but you
Yeah.
need to just or go outside for 5 minutes and just lay on the ground because these upgrades they're coming in not very subtle. Um, but it's also causing us to have like what some people have told me is that they've been having a lot spontaneous past life memories that are just coming up, and
Yeah.
some of them are positive and some of them are negative, and I tell them, listen, don't be afraid if something like that happens to you. You have to understand this is part of the release process. We are being confronted with our past, and there's no way around it. There's no more running from it, no matter how many incarnations you come from. You gotta just deal with it. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, don't get attached to the story, but let it just come out and through. And honor. You have to honor it, because when you honor it, you're also setting it free.
What's the best advice you can give from a physical standpoint for people who are going through this, wherein like they don't know how to handle it? Like from a physical standpoint, do we drink more water? Do we meditate? What do we eat? What's your
Yeah.
experience? What's your best advice?
My advice is first, definitely start drinking more, adding a little magnesium to your water, electrolytes, making sure that you're fully hydrated. That's one of the things I forget to do sometimes, but I know that it makes the biggest difference. Make sure that you're getting, going out and getting into nature. Wow. And I'm sitting outside in the forest and it just started raining, so I'm going to move. But nature is going to be helping you to connect to these new grids too, because she's also moving through her energy field. She's upgrading her grid. And when you put your feet on the ground, disconnect from Wi-Fi. Let me tell you that right off the bat. Sometimes during the day in my office, I'll turn the Wi-Fi off for half an hour. And I'm trying to do that more and more, because it's just bombarding the physical body, especially through Ascension. The Wi-Fi has a really big effect on us. It's more than we can imagine. It affects our whole entire being, you know? And it gives us a chance to balance back the natural rhythm of our physical body. So stepping away from Wi-Fi is really big. Okay, guys, I know this is really hard, but at least an hour away from your phone or computer a day, you know?
Yeah,
to
it's
make
just
sure
to
you take that time. Taking a bath with, like, I've been taking a bath with an entire bag of Epsom salt. Like, not just a couple teaspoons, like a whole bag. And then I bring in certain crystals, like black obsidian, or certain crystals to help charge the water, to upgrade the energies in it. I've been using a lot of essential oils to help ground me. And I've been using like rose oil right now is really, really good. I like frankincense. It's very grounding. You can put it on your feet and it just really grounds you back into your body. I mean, these are holy oils, you know, and anything that's going to raise your vibration, attune you, is really good to do. And also make sure you're eating wholesome meals, you know, eating meals that are supporting your body. And I've been cutting out like a lot of stuff and really just trying to just be much, much more holistic, eating more simple too, like simple foods, you know. I mean, you're a nutritionist, so you know, but those are a few tips that I can share.
Yes, thank you so much for for all those tips there. I was definitely like listening to that part about where you said about the bath with Epsom salts and the essential oils. Like, how long would you soak in that? Just to from your experience.
45 minutes minimum.
That's
And
nice.
And then here's the other thing: we're detoxing. Because as our energies are moving up, as we are releasing toxic beliefs, and not just our own, but like generational. And I know because like the last 2 sessions I did were all about lineage. And it was like the person, it was their stuff, but it wasn't really, it was about the lineage. And it's like their entire programming. Like we had to just sort of like recode everything. And it was that's what I think it is. I think of it as like coding, or recoding the program, because the programs running were causing them harm, causing them pain, and causing them suffering. So by reprogramming, we were able to reset certain programs. So it's like I noticed like now I'm wiping a lot more than I was before. Before I was just doing like, okay, what belief is blocking you? And we would just do one belief at a time. And the universe is asking me to to code differently, to basically to take the whole program and start to disintegrate it, and to add in or plug in a new program that's like it's almost like a upgrade, right? When you upgrade your phone or your computer,
hardware
it's like
upgrade,
you can't
system
just,
upgrade.
yeah, you have to do a total system upgrade. Thank you. That's perfect the way you said it, because that's exactly what I'm seeing now. It's no more just like these little things here and there. It is total system upgrade, and it's not going to stop. Like, we're doing 2.0, it's going to be 3.0, it's going to be 4.0. We're going to get to 6 or 7 or 8.0 by the end of the year. You know what I mean? So we are moving fast in this process, and it's not always a pretty process. It can create conflicts with people. A lot of people are going through different conflicts. And the reason is because like a lot of old past karma is like surfacing. Stuff where there was like ancient karma, it's being accelerated. And so anything that was murky, anything at all that's murky in your life, in your relationships, any old baggage or karma, it's just going poof, right to the top. And it's almost like you can't sort of skim around it anymore. You just have to sort of like, work through it right away. So it's a lot, but it's beautiful too, because then I've noticed that after people's sessions, they feel so different, and it's almost like one session now is what I would do in like 6 or 7 sessions before. It's quantified itself.
Oh, wow. That's really quite exponential.
Yes, but we've been moving towards this for a long time. I think because we're expediting the process, and some, not all, okay, not all. Let's make that crystal clear. Not all are expediting, but we are choosing to expedite the process for ourselves. Remember, this isn't an individual process, and each one of us is unwinding certain things within us. The ascension process is an individual journey and a collective journey. It's both simultaneously. So as we clear personally, we are lightening the load for the collective, and vice versa. But also, as we start to clear and more people are doing healing and we're all quantifying it together, all of a sudden people can take bigger healings now. Like, we don't have to do 6, 7, 8 sessions just to clear one thing.
Yes.
That where before we had to really more thoroughly, like each thought, each belief, which is still important and valid, but it's just a different processes are coming through. So that's one of the biggest things I'm seeing in my world. So.
And I totally agree with that. I see, from my own network here, I've been dealing with people and they've been getting some really strange, for them with what they call strange feelings. They just can't pinpoint it. And, for me, I've been trying to explain it to them in a more in a layman's terms, but it's still hard for them to process it. So how would you, like, for people who are just basically, I guess, starting to feel this, like, what is ascension for? Like, is it something about like evolving into a higher being? Like, is our DNA being recoded?
We're really like transforming into a higher octave version of ourselves. We are ourselves, but we're also, you can also feel like, I don't feel like myself right now. You know how your coworkers are like, I don't know what it is. I feel kind of off. I feel kind of weird. I'm not sure if I feel like myself, because the vibrational resonance in which most people have been vibrating on has basically, for some, has been sort of removed. And they're getting like a new insert, a little upgrade. The universe is going to keep upgrading no matter what. It's like up to you, though, how painful you want it to be,
Yes.
I mean, these frequencies are coming in 24/7. So, for example, when I had my first ascension experience, which I talked about, where I had the dolphin and the whale, and my mom was there, who's Maya the shaman, and how I felt with my first ascension, almost like a preview or a sneak peek into what it's like. Really, what I got is it's a lightness of being. You can still be you, but without all the heavy, stuff that we carry, all of the cords and we carry so much baggage we don't even understand. And it's not even all ours. It's our lineages and society, right? So when I went through that process, I could feel the crystal clear lightness, and our bodies are shifting. We are becoming more crystalline in our being, and our DNA is shifting. We've had our DNA really messed with a lot, throughout the years. And why do you think we are only at 2 to 5, or maybe a genius 6% of our brain? What does that tell you about, we think we're like the smartest beings in the whole universe, but like, wow, we're only using 6% max of our brain. So what does that mean? What does that mean? You don't know what you don't know. Yeah, right? So we are moving into an unfolding process. And part of that is trust. It's really big, trust.
Now you've created, courses and books that help people through many different things. Now, is there anything specific about the Ascension process, or like any healing courses or books? Because I know you've published one already.
Yeah.
Would that be useful to the people that are undergoing this Ascension process?
Oh my goodness. Well, Kuan Yin. Yeah, sorry, I was just so excited. I got excited because I love Kuan Yin, and you've worked with her too. You know her. It's a never-ending process.
Yeah.
Like I said before, there are karmas that are becoming ripe. Sometimes, like, you wonder, why does this person, they could get away with murder and they don't get in trouble, or whatever, right? But karma has its own time. Karma is like fruit. It only ripens when it's ready to be ripe. It's like a flower. It's not going to bloom until it's ready. And so we're seeing the karmic process where a lot of karma is ripe. And so that can be positive and it can be negative. If you've been working through your stuff, it's going to be much better. If you have not, it's like a hammer on your head, basically. But forgiveness is such a big part, because there are people that we have wronged in past lives. There are people that have wronged us in past lives. And most likely, we're going to be attracted to those people right now in order to clear some karma. There's no other way. Like, the universe is funny. It'll magnetize you to that is not, maybe they're not the best person for you in some way, shape, or form, but you have to clear the karma. And what I'm seeing, the pattern I'm seeing a lot is, like, there is so much forgiveness work that we really need to do. Forgiving, and it is so challenging. I am still learning about the power of forgiveness. I am a student for life, let me tell you, because the forgiveness process never ends.
I'm in a total agreement with that. So it's forgiveness on a personal level, like forgiving ourselves, and then also to the people that we have friendships and connections with, right?
Oh my goodness! Yes, we have to. Our loved ones, our family, people you can't get away from. You have to in your life, and again, it's never really for them. It's really about forgiving for ourselves, because when we do, the moment that we forgive, really genuinely, we are disconnecting from the karma. We are disconnecting from the karma. If they want to hold on to the karma, that's their issue. But it's only going to make your ascension process easier. And I'm not saying it's easy by any means, or that I'm an expert at this, because I definitely am working through my forgiveness too. We're like, there's many levels and layers. Like, you can forgive somebody and then have like this pang of pain come back, or resentment. And so forgiveness comes in layers. It's not one like magical thing where it's all gone in one swoop. I wish, I really do. But for now, Kuan Yin teaches us that patience is very important. Being patient through the process of forgiveness and being patient with forgiving ourselves or others.
Mm-hmm.
The workbook, Kuan Yin Goddess Activations, is a really great place to start.
And that's available on Amazon now, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure
yeah.
is.
So listeners, go to Amazon and check out Kuan Yin Goddess Activations. It's a healing workbook that Radha created, and it's a beautiful work of art, and it's going to be very, very helpful during this ascension process because it's very essential, like Radha said about the forgiveness aspect and how we can start working on that. So that's where would someone would begin right now. Aside from the books, which they can find also on Amazon, then do you have other specific courses like on your website, which is your last recommendation for people right now that are just starting to feel that they are shedding stuff like for myself, I've been experiencing the past week and a half was like you said, an even more intense feeling of restlessness, of like
Yeah.
insomnia, and even though I've been eating right, I'm like, oh my gosh, what I need to stop more. And like you're so right about the purging. It's like more and more stuff is coming, not just one by one, but it's like coming from all
Yeah.
over the place. So
It's big.
thankful that that you've showed me how to to handle it, and now that our listeners are listening in to this, they can enable these simple steps like the baths and the nature walks and the meditation and eating wholesome clean foods. Um, what would be your last word, like would it be advice or just what can you say more? Because I know we'll be talking more probably
Yeah.
about, but what would be the last thing
Sure.
before we go?
So I would say, take time to unplug if you can, if that is possible for you in your life at all. If you have a 9 to 5, understandable. But when you go home, don't just sit in front of the TV and numb out. Like, take time to unplug. You need downtime. So if that means having dinner and just laying on the couch and just resting or listening to some relaxing music or reading something inspiring, I would say spend less time like on Facebook or watching the news. Every time we do that, we're plugging back in, and it causes like our nervous system to activate and get a little bit stressed out.
So
And
true.
I know because I feel that too. When you unplug, you're giving yourself the time to reset. And that is what we need. It's like we're in a go, 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 go world in the US, right? So we
Yes.
actually need to slow down. And that's why people get sick here, along with the food and everything, because there's too much stress. And so you want to cut down the stress, cut out the drama anywhere in your life you can.
Mm-hmm.
If there's people in your life that are being too dramatic, release yourself from the burden of other people's dramas, even the world dramas that are going on. Yes, you can care. Yes, you can be aware. Yes, you can use your voice. And you don't have to keep wearing it on your shoulder like a backpack, because that's not going to save anybody. What I mean to say is, like, be in the know, make your voice known, but don't sit in the drama, any kind of drama, for too long.
Yes.
You are simmering like a soup right now. Probably there is so much, swirling around inside of
In,
you. It's enough
in,
drama to
a
last you a
karma
lifetime. So
simmering in the karma broth with ramen on the
yeah,
side.
you're already in a karma drama. Let it, like, start releasing the karma, or start releasing the drama. Unhook yourself from these old programs. Wow, and it's amazing. Do you hear the thunder?
Yes.
That is my world.
That's
the
your
the
world. Well,
world
you're
of
out in
thunder
nature.
and rain and washing away. And the world is detoxing people. Have you not seen, Like, we are going through moves and shakes and volcanoes and rainstorms and thunder and events that are causing our earth is saying, hey, I'm changing. I don't know about you, but I'm detoxing. I'm letting go of some dark
So the planet's
energy.
detoxing
Yeah,
and ascending.
she's detoxing, and she's been really nice about it. She could have been a lot, more, a lot more than she is. She's being as kind and gracious as she possibly can. But we are no different from Mother Earth. We are part of Earth. And so understand that everything is interconnected. Start to see that there's a connection with everything. We are all interconnected, and we're all going through this together. And it's not like some of us are just going through it easy. I've been going through my Ascension symptoms too. And sometimes I feel like my Ascension symptoms are a couple weeks before other people's, or a couple months, or whatever, simply because I did say yes. I chose this path, and I do help people who are going through it too. So I have to sort of have to like be a guinea pig and go through the process, and then be like, okay, this is what's going to happen, So everyone's going through it. No one's an exception. Take care of yourself. And remember, you are the most important person in your life. I know.
So true.
Yeah. So just make sure that you're taking care of you, that you're loving you. Regardless of whatever else is going on in your life, you matter, you count, you're lovable, you're beautiful. And, that's just so important to remember throughout this whole process. You're the most important person in your life. So take care of you first, and then everything else will come together.
Wow. Thank you so much, Radha. I mean, it's always a pleasure to have you on. I mean, we could always talk forever about many different things. And this really hits home for a lot of people. So those who are listening, if you need to reach out to Radha, you can just check out her website, www.goddesscodeacademy.com. You can read up more about what she does, and she can help you with this process as well. You can follow her as well on Instagram, Radhaa Nilia, and Facebook, right?
Yep.
So yes,
Connecting.
yes, it's important. We're all here to support each other, and Radha, you're the best at really supporting and listening and helping people deal with.
I think I lost you because the thunder was just going off.
Okay, well, I was just saying goodbye. If you want to say goodbye to everybody.
Yes, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to connecting with you. So much love, Radha.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me on, Mike.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back. Sorry for the little bit of technical difficulties there.
It's all good. It's all worth it. It's great to be on. Thank you.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us again, Radha. For the listeners out there, I have a special guest again, and Radha of Galactic Goddess podcast is on today. And you've got some really deep stuff we're going to talk about, right?
Yep. Always.
Yeah, I believe we're going to talk about Ascension updates. Whoa, that's some pretty heavy stuff. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we have been going into high gear here. This whole year has been, it's been like a level process of slowly going up and up and up another octave. And that's how I see it. It's like we're all vibrationally going up higher in an octave. But as it goes higher, it's also like a roller coaster where we come down a little bit, we dip a little bit energetically because we do go so high. And what also is occurring is a huge, massive, archaic purging. I am hearing that from all my clients, and I'm seeing like they're having a lot of physical symptoms. Where they're breaking out in like rashes, or like their knee will swell up, or weird random things. Yeah, that where different places in their body where they're storing cellular We hold cellular memory from many lifetimes, not just this lifetime. And our our bodysuit really contains that information. And as we are ascending up in our energy field, we need to drop some of that baggage so we can get lighter, energetically speaking. So a lot of physical symptoms are showing up.
What kind of physical symptoms are examples? I have some, but what have you been hearing from your clients and for yourself?
Well, for me, I've been noticing that sleeping has been a little bit of a challenge. Falling asleep has been a little bit of a challenge. I really have to try to go to bed earlier, and I have been, but like a lot of the things that used to work, like melatonin or what is that mineral called?
Magnesium.
Magnesium, yes, that's
Yes.
like my go-to, and that hasn't been working as well. So I also just realized that like my body is also getting downloads at different times, and usually it's when I'm sleeping, but now it's like seems to be right before I go to sleep. Which is really, really funny, but not funny at the same time
No,
because
I thought it was
because
just me. I've been sharing the same things. The magnesium hasn't been working, melatonin, and it's like throughout the day, and then it just gets more intense at night. And I'm like, oh, please, my bodysuit needs a reboot or upgrade.
well, it is getting. That's exactly what it's doing. But now, where we were sleeping, we're wide awake. I mean, I have been getting them like a few times. Not not this month because we just started, but last month I got two major downloads during the day that wiped me in a really incredible way that I think might be occurring again for other people. And what that feels like is all of a sudden, like you're doing something and you just start to feel like a little bit like tired. But also you feel like a little zzz, a little bit of zzz in your body, like your body's
Mm-hmm.
buzzing. It's buzzing. There's like a frequency that's coming in. And it's almost like whatever you're doing, you just need to stop and go lay down. If you're working in an office, I don't know what to say, but but you
Yeah.
need to just go outside for 5 minutes and just lay on the ground because these upgrades they're coming in not very subtle, but it's also causing us to have like what some people have told me is that they've been having a lot of spontaneous past life memories that are just coming up, and
Yeah.
some of them are positive and some of them are negative, and I tell them, listen, don't be afraid. If something like that happens to you, you have to understand this is part of the release process. We are being confronted with our past, and there's no way around it. There's no more running from it, no matter how many incarnations you come from. You gotta just deal with it, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, don't get attached to the story, but let it just come out and
Mhm.
through. And honor. You have to honor it, because when you honor it, you're also setting it free.
What's the best advice you can give from a physical standpoint for people who are going through this, wherein like they don't know how to handle it? Like from a physical standpoint, do we drink more water? Do we meditate? What do we eat? From
Yeah.
your experience? What's your best advice?
My advice is first, definitely start drinking